What's going on, guys? One, love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Front versus Vera. Predictions, guys. Not much breakdown on this card. I'm gonna go through it real fast here. Um, we have 12 fights on the card. Um, Before I start, subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up button. Check out my Patreon account for the face-off prediction, prop bets, and also like and subscribe. All right. Let's jump into this. We got Tatsuro Taira versus Carlos Candelario. Tatsuro here. Hold on there, guys. Reading from my notes here. He's not bad, man. Pretty skilled kid. 3-inch of reach. Looks sharp. A lot of leg kicks. He threw very heavy leg kicks. Big amateur background. He's undefeated in amateur and in professional. His opponent here, Carlos, was on Contender Series twice, and he won the first one and he lost his second fight in the Contender Series, but then he retired after the Contender Series in 2017. I believe he hurt his knee or something like that, but then he retired and he came back. I mean, Carlos has hands. I believe he's boxing, golden gloves or something like that, but I don't know, man. When you retire and come back, you look like you're not too sure, like if he wants to fight or not. So, if you're not all the way in the game, if you're not fully committed to the game, you're not committed fully to whatever you're doing, you're just not going to do too well. So that's probably what happened to him, why he lost his last fight here. You know what I mean? You're retiring, you come back, you're not too sure, I'm going to go with Tatsuro Taira for the win there, guys. I'm not sure about this one because he's making his debut here. But from what I've seen, he looks sharp, though. He looks like a good prospect. Yeah, so he's looking at his record in 19. He says like 19-0 amateur, but I guess okay, that's a combination of amateur and professional combined together. It's like 18 fights, 8-0 in amateur here. All right, I'm gonna go with Tatsuro here. I'm gonna say Tatsuro by decision, but I'm not confident, guys. All right. Next fight here, Gina Mazany versus Shanna Young. I'm gonna go with Mazany here. I know, disrespected fighters, but I don't feel like Young is. I feel like she's on that level. I guess when I want to see a UFC caliber fighter, right? Gina is a little more of a better striker here, better technique, and she can even get the fight to the ground. Young has some submission, but like I said, it's just not UFC caliber in my opinion. But Gina does get tired though, so this is a fight where I'll be careful with, man. I wouldn't even mess with it too much, to be honest with you, because Young, you never know, Young could win. Like I said, Mazany does get tired, but I could see she taking on the fight and maybe get a submission in the first round. So I'm gonna go with Gina Mazany here by submission first round, guys. Not confident. Mike Breeden versus Natan Levy. Mike Breeden heavy hands here. Levy's pretty well-rounded guy, but he can get touched up though. His defense sometimes a little shaky, but he would take the fight to the ground though and look for submissions. But like I said, if Breeden land a punch at him, he could get hurt in the fight. Not confident about this one, guys, but I'm gonna go with Natan Levy. I'm gonna say Levy by decision. Not confident. Yohan Lainesse versus Gabriel Green. Yohan here, 3-inch reach, heavy hitter. He sits down on his punches, man. This guy can hit, pack of power. He sits down on the punch though. Technique can get sloppy, but he does pack power. Gabe Green here. I mean, he's well-rounded, and Yohan is well-rounded too. I believe Yohan has wrestling there. Green will look for the submissions though. Green throws heavy though. He can get wild at times though. But I feel with Green is maybe a little bit more experience here. Face more tougher competition. But if you see with Yohan, beat some tough guys too. He beat Burlinson here, who was an upcomer. He beat Evan Cuts. It's a tough one here, guys. But I'm going to go with Green for the win here. I'm going to say Green by submission, first round, but I'm not confident. Next fight, we got Daniel Silva versus Francisco Figueiredo. It's the next toss-up here, man. Silva is dangerous on the ground. He will look for the submissions. He transitions very well from submission to submission, right? Scrambles and everything like that. Francisco Figueiredo Not like his brother, really. I mean, but he seems athletic here and there. But I can see Silva getting a submission on him. So I'm gonna go with Silva, first round submission. But I'm not confident, guys. This fight here was supposed to be last week, but it got pulled from the card from the last UFC card there. Alexander Romanov versus Chase Sherman. I'm gonna go with Romanov here by KOTK in the first round, but be very careful with this one, man. I believe on the odds when we saw it the last card, the odds on Romanov was freaking high as hell. So we see upsets, and I believe Sherman is a little more experienced than Romanov, in my opinion, as far as competition he faced. So if Romanov can't finish him first round, Romanov could get tired. So be careful with this one, man. I would actually dog or pass on this one, guys, because Romanov is very high, and the odds, at least he's going to be high. So be very careful with this one, dog or pass, man. Gerald Merchant versus Krzysztof, Jotko. Gerald Merchant here putting off a couple of wins here, back to back. I believe 3 winning streak. Got 3 submissions in a row. Wow, that's good. It's a tough one to pick though because Jotko is light in the feet, and we see with Merchant, he can get the submissions third. He can get the submissions in the round, man. Just to be honest with you, he shows it first here, second, and third, so he can pull off the win anytime with a submission. It's a tough one. I can see if Merchant can get him to the ground, he could submit him. But there's times when Merchant can get put on his back, and then he just sit there, and he's just on his back the entire round, man. But he seems to be improving, though. He seems to get back to his foot and start to strike a little bit more, and then push for takedowns. He's just not laying on his back; he's looking for submissions off his back. But this one's a tough one to pick, man, because Jotko is light in the foot. Striking, in my opinion, is better. He's a quicker guy, but he can get taken down. But his takedown defense has gotten better. It's a tough one, guys. I mean, I could see Merchant getting a submission here, but man, there's sometimes he hunts for submissions. If he doesn't get it, then that's it. Then he loses the fight. I'm gonna go with Krzysztof Jotko here. I want to say Krzysztof Jotko by decision, but definitely not confident because Merchant can win. All right. Next fight here: Darren Elkins versus Tristan Connelly. Man, every time I see a UFC with Darren Elkins, I'm like, he's still fighting, man. Man, Elkins, man, I don't know, man. Last fight here, man, was horrible against Cub Swanson, but that's Cub Swanson, though. If you look on the guys who are beating him, are not cans. These guys are pretty good fighters. Connelly he's not a bad fighter, but I mean, he's a tough kid going to push the pace. He hunts you down, but man, his record here, Sean Campbell, and I mean, he ain't really fight nobody like that. I believe Elkins should be able to beat this guy, man. But then Elkins can't handle a hit too well. And then Connelly pack a little power here and there. I mean, majority of his wins are by knockout, I believe. But man, I don't think Connelly is very light in the foot like that. But he has a pace on him though. But then Elkins has a pace. So once they tie up, I feel Elkins is better on the ground. Elkins got more experience here. But again, it's just durability of Elkins, man. This guy had been through a war. Took a lot of damage, man. He has 4 wins by KO. Okay, majority of his wins are by submission. I'm sorry about that guy. I thought it was more by knockout. But he has 4 by knockout and 9 by submissions. But, man, it's a tough one here. Elkins been knocked out 4 times. Elkins has the more knockout here. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Elkins here, guys, but I'm not confident at all because Elkins is just not durable no more. He takes a lot of damage in there, man. Bleeds easily too. So anything can happen in this fight. He could get cut, and the fight gets stopped. So it's a toss-up. I'm gonna go with Elkins, but not confident, man. I'm going with Elkins for more experience, and I feel Elkins is a more skilled guy too, man. But again, he can get cut easy, and I don't feel he's as durable as he used to be. All right. Gerald Gordon versus Grant Dawson. Gerald Gordon could win this fight. He's a pretty well-rounded guy, heavy-handed, will go for takedowns. But I think it's a fight where Grant could out-wrestle Gordon here and pull off a decision. His last fight there against Ricky Glenn is a big frame guy. He's a more lengthy, bigger frame. It's harder to deal with Ricky Glenn. With Gerald Gordon here is 5'9", 68-inch reach. Grant is 7'2". I think Grant, this would be an easier fight for Grant. Ricky Glenn is more of a bigger frame, harder to deal with, 6'70". Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dawson there. I'm gonna say Dawson by decision, but still be careful though. I mean, Gordon could edge out a victory here, like what he did against his last fight with Joe Selecki. So it's pretty similar with that wrestling base. But I'm gonna go with Grant Dawson by decision. Andre Fili versus Joanderson Brito. Fili looked good in his last fight, man, but the eye poke. So it was a non-contest against Daniel Pinedo. Man, Fili looked good in that fight. His combinations, his technique, his execution of the technique, and his timing was on point, man. His combinations, man, like solid. Brito here is a crafty guy, but he goes wild in there, man, and he tends to gas out, and he will look for takedowns, but I gotta go with Fili for this one, man. I just feel Fili is just, if he comes in there and fight like his last fight, man, I can see Fili pulling off the win here. Maybe even finish Brito, but I must say Fili by decision though. Jake Collier versus Andrei Arlovski. Jake Collier move up to heavyweight. It's not really a true heavyweight here, but I mean, beat Chase Sherman there. I don't know, man. I feel Andrei Arlovski is just the better fighter here. Andrei Arlovski is going to weather those overhands. He will, because what we see from Collier is coming in throwing overhands. And, I mean, Andrei Arlovski against Gerald, Collier, Philippe, and most of those guys are throwing overhands too and couldn't connect. Andrei Arlovski been looking better. He's not in there brawling. He's more technical. And Collier is not really a heavyweight like that. You know what I'm saying? He just recently kind of move up to heavyweight, like 260 something pounds or something like that. Is he? Yeah, 265 pounds. It's a guy that fight at 205, man. I think we even fought at 185 too. Yeah, he fights at 1. This is not a. Again, if you look at Collier though, you can tell that the weight is just doesn't look good on him. It's like it looks out of shape. But again, he keeps his cardio and But I feel Andrei Arlovski should get this win. I'm going to go to Andrei Arlovski by decision, but still not confident because, again, age is a number still, but Andrei Arlovski looks good. So he looks good, so he should win. But again, people are going to judge a fight, he's 43 and Collier's a little younger. Possible. So I'm not confident in this one. I'm going to go Andrei Arlovski by decision, not confident. Main fight on the card, I got Rob Font versus Marlon Vera. Both well-rounded guys here. Vera will submit you in the ground. Rob will submit you too. Vera kind of start off kind of slow in the fights, but he's been getting better with that. Rob Font got the boxing. It's a close one to pick here, man. I mean, I could see either guy winning here, but I feel a little more confident picking Rob Font to win than Marlon Vera. So I'm going to go with Rob Font here, guys, for the win. I'm going to say Rob Font by decision. But I'm not confident though. Great look at the odds here, guys. So we're working with Tatsuro. Nah, Tatsuro is too high, man. Carlos is a bad fighter. And Carlos, in my opinion, has faced more tougher competition. And Tatsuro fought mostly overseas. I believe in Japan or something like that. So him being 200 and something, be careful with that one, man. I wouldn't parlay that too much, and I would maybe go underdog just in case. So, I mean, I have Taira winning, but still be careful. Gina Mazany, 190, 200. This fight to me should be even closer, man. To be honest, because Gina Mazany, she usually will gas out. If she can't finish Shanna Young, she may gas out in the fight, and Young just win off of those cardio. So be very careful with this one, man. Might Breeden Levy. Levy's too high, man. Because Matt Breeden is not a bad fighter either. I mean, you come in there and swing his hands, and if he connect to Levy, he can get knocked out. And Levy, I feel his defense is kind of shaky. And he gets hurt in the foot too. Be careful with this one. It's a close fight. This should be a close to even fight, man. The odds is off on that one. Gabriel Green and Natan Levy. They got Green here as favorite. Close fight, close to even. Yeah, I mean, it's close fight. I mean, I have Green winning, so it's a close fight. Francisco Trinaldo. Francisco Figueiredo versus Daniel Lacerda. Yeah, it's a close fight. It's a close to even fight. Can go either way here, man. I'm liking Daniel though, but I could see this fight going either way. What we have here, Silva. Okay, the guy here. Okay, he has two. I guess he switched his name. I guess his name is Lacerda, and the Silva is like the two same guys though, but it was an even fight regardless. Romanov and Sherman. Shit, so Romanov is so high. That's nuts. Dog or pass that, man. Believe me. Dog or pass, because Romanov gets tired, man. We see him get tired in his when he fought who did he fight? Not Marcos Rogero. Who did he fight and he got really tired in there, and the fight was like it looked like he should have lost that fight. Take a quick look here. I believe it was a split decision, but I felt he lost that fight. When he fought Juan Espino, I felt Juan Espino won that fight. And because he gassed out, that's why. So if this guy gasses out and can't get the finish, you can see Sherman pulling off a win, man. So be careful. It's a dog go past that. Meerschaert and crushing off Jotko crushing off. Jotko 180, 174. This is a close to even fight, guys. I think Jotko is a little too high because Meerschaert, he can get the takedowns and he will look for it. And Jotko can get taken down, but his defense got better, but you just never know, man. So be careful. Elkins, Connelly. Elkins 180. It's close to even fight, man, especially how Elkins is looking now. He's declining, man. You can tell that he can't handle the shots no more of any kind. Punch or kick. Not even the takedown. Sometimes it looks like he's struggling to get takedown. So this fight is an even fight, man. Be careful, man. Because Elkins, he will be in there and then you hit him a couple of times and he start to bleed and then he just start to get wobbled, so be careful. Dawson and Gordon. Dawson 190, 180. I can see Dawson winning, but still be careful because Gerald Gordon is not a bad fighter, man. So it's a close fight. I see Dawson winning, but Gordon not a bad fighter. Fili 250 and Brito 200. I don't have a problem with that. I'm liking Fili in this fight, man. I'm liking Fili for this fight. Arlovski and Collier. Arlovski we got as favorites. Close fight though, close to even. 130. Yeah, close fight. Collier could get it though, man, if he can catch Arlovski with a punch. Probably knock him out. It's possible. But Arlovski, his defense has been looking good. So close fight. Marlon, Vera in front. Close to even. I don't have a problem with that. So that's pretty much it there, guys. As I said, check out my Patreon account for face-up predictions. I will leave all my picks down below. And that's about it, guys. Guys, keep on kicking. More love out to everybody. And os.